From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Casey Conlon, on Saturday, Billings' second ever dog park will open right here at Centennial Park. But today we got to go inside those gates. We'll show you what it's all about coming up.
I'm Mike Dennison in Helena. So, where did all those COVID relief loans end up going? Coming up, we'll take a look.
Plus, this is a live look from the Stockman Bank weather camera as the heat climbs to record-breaking heights today. We'll catch up with Ed McIntosh in just a bit. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Those stories in just a moment. But first, the Billings Fire Department has a new chief. Today, City Administrator Chris Kukulski announced current Senior Assistant Fire Chief Pepper Valdez will take the helm. Kukulski cited Valdez's people-focused leadership approach and experience for the past 22 years with the Billings Fire Department, making him what Kukulski calls the ideal fit as the new chief. Valdez came out on top from 27 applicants down to 5 and then 2 before he was named today. The future chief gave strong accolades to current Chief Bill Rash for bringing out the best in the Billings Fire Department.
So I'm excited, I'm humbled and honored to be able to lead this talented organization. This is home for me, this is my community, and I think the city of Billings deserves the best. And I think we can provide that for them, and I think we can also raise that level of service. We can always tweak and get better.
And Chief Rash will retire on June 24th, and Valdez will take over on June 25th. Now, Valdez and his wife Tracy have 2 boys, Lucas 17 and Reese 15. You can head to ktvq.com to learn more about the future chief. And some sad news to report tonight as the U.S. Forest Service confirms the death of a West Yellowstone smoke jumper. Wildland firefighter Tim Hart of Cody, Wyoming died while fighting fire in New Mexico. Hart passed away from injuries sustained on May 24th while responding to a fire in Hidalgo County. Hart began his wildland firefighting career in 2006 and has served multiple leadership roles. He came to West Yellowstone in 2019 as a smoke jumper squad leader and most recently served as a spotter. An overnight shooting has a man fighting for his life in a Billings hospital while the person responsible is still on the loose. Police say a 32-year-old man was shot several times around 2 a.m. on the 1400 block of El Dorado Drive. He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Now, police say they do not have any suspects at this time, and the case remains under investigation. Well, if today felt hot, well, then you're right. Ed, is even hotter than normal.
A little.
Just a
little toasty.
A little bit.
A little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look. These are unofficial highs so far. It's still like, it's like trying to call a game in the 8th inning, but we'll still see some hotter temperatures reported by the end of the day. Check out 99 in Jordan and Glasgow so far. Billings, 97 degrees. You can see the hot readings all the way through northern Wyoming as well. As far as records go, Billings walked right past the record of 92 this afternoon. Sheridan, Livingston, Miles City all tied or broke the individual daytime records for June 3rd. We may not break records tomorrow, but we're still going to be looking at a lot of that heat, and you still need to take a lot of care when the heat starts to build in. But all that heat is going to be followed by the chance of thunderstorms. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, this week we are taking a look at how and where Montana will decide to spend more than $1.6 billion in federal COVID relief funds. But what about the billions of federal COVID dollars already distributed across the state in the past year? Well, tonight, MTN's Mike Dennison tells us where a big chunk of that money went. One of the biggest areas of COVID relief, loans to Montana businesses.
Paul Mabey and his husband recently opened restaurants, a lodge, and working farm in Helena, and then came the pandemic.
We put everything on the line to open up this project in July of 2019, and when COVID hit, we thought we were going to lose everything.
But they were able to get federal COVID relief loans last year, and Mabey says it basically saved the business and maintained jobs for most of their employees. Mabey is one of thousands of Montana business owners who benefited from this money, which in Montana has topped $3 billion. In the past year, Montana lending institutions and the SBA have approved more than 46,000 separate loans for the Paycheck Protection Program, totaling $2.6 billion. Some of those awards were big, 281 of $1 million or more, including a dozen awards ranging from $5 million up to the highest of $10 million. But almost 21,000 of these awards went to single proprietors, businesses employing just one person. Those awards averaged about $11,000 per recipient. The awards have gone to businesses in all corners of the state, from the 14 awards in Lima, totaling $178,000, to 50 awards in Westby, totaling $682,000, or the 46 awards in Alzada, totaling $832,000. Although in Yak, no awards at all. In the major cities, the total awards range from the $426 million distributed to businesses in Billings to the $79 million handed out in Butte. And the SBA has also approved another $630 million to Montana businesses and economic injury disaster loans, or EIDLs, in the past year. SBA District Director Brent Donnelly says almost two-thirds of the 24,000 PPP loans approved last year in Montana are being forgiven because businesses met requirements like keeping at least 60% of employees on payroll. He believes the program accomplished its goal of helping save thousands of small businesses and the communities they serve.
In order to have that opportunity to stay vibrant and continue to make sales, continue to serve their communities, right? Serve products and services for their communities. Really important in Montana.
Some of those loans went to sizable entities in the millions of dollars, such as many mid-sized hospitals in Montana. Rich Rasmussen of the Montana Hospital Association says these hospitals were losing revenue during the pandemic and being asked to keep on employees and get ready for a surge of emergency patients.
I mean, this is truly an essential service that in the face of the pandemic, you wanted to ensure that in your community, you had access to emergency services.
Other big awards included $10 million to Missoula-based Consumer Direct Care Network, which provides in-home health services, $7.2 million to Billings architectural and engineering firm Cushing Terrell, and $6.8 million to Helena's Dick Anderson Construction. Dick Anderson CEO Corey McGreevy says the money allowed the company to keep on its workforce, while many projects were delayed or canceled because of the pandemic. The PPP program closed applications just this week. But the disaster loans for businesses, which must be paid back, are available through the rest of this year. All told, it's a huge investment of federal funds into the private sector in Montana. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks, Mike. Now on our website, ktvq.com, you can see the entire SBA database listing showing nearly all of the 46,000 plus recipients of PPP loans. Well, former Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke made his 2022 campaign official as he vies for the state's new congressional seat. Zinke, a Republican and former Interior Secretary under Donald Trump, has created a campaign website and tells MTN News today that he's off and running. However, it's not yet known which of the new districts he'll run in since they haven't been created. Montana is getting an additional district for 2022, and a state redistricting commission will not draw those boundaries until later this year. Zinke is striking a somewhat moderate tone on his website and in an interview with MTN. He says the country's biggest threat is political division and that leaders need to work to unite Americans to support the Constitution. Zinke resigned as Interior Secretary in late 2018 and now lives in his hometown of Whitefish. Now, so far, no other candidate has officially declared to run for the new seat. Well, for the first time in 30 years, Billings will christen a brand new park this weekend for both people and their furry friends. Q2's Casey Conlon got a sneak peek today to show us what makes this opening so special. Here's tonight's Positively Montana.
Saturday is going to be a historic one in Billings with the second ever dog park opening and the first on Billings West End here at Centennial Park. Now, it's not just the dog park that's opening on Saturday. It's really this whole space around us, but this will be the main attraction. We got a chance to walk through this park 2 days before its grand opening with Parks Superintendent Mike Pigg, who gave us a look at the kinds of features that they have specifically designed to make sure this is a premier attraction.
One of the cool things is you'll see there's hardly any square corners. There's no 90-degree corners. And that's big so that if there's an aggressive dog, it doesn't have an ability to trap other dogs in corners. As you notice the entryway, there's a big mound right here. That stops all the other dogs that are out there. They don't see you come in with your dog, so they don't come rushing over and scare your dog. You know, this big concrete space right here, that's so, what's the first thing dogs do when they come into a dog park? They got to go to the bathroom. Well, we've pushed that out away from the gate so that, you know, all these little things like that were designed in.
Now you can see our full walk and talk with Mike right now on our Q2 Facebook page. And yes, my dog McAvoy even does make a cameo as one of the first to, well, give his paw of approval, I guess you would say. Again, Saturday at noon, Centennial Park will be completely open, not just this area, but lots to do for the family, including food trucks and live music as well. If you find a minute, make sure you get out here. In Billings, Casey Conlon for MTN News.
Thanks, Casey. Now, Centennial Park is located on 32nd Street between Central and Broadwater. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News, right here on Q2, a Montana veteran gets an early birthday present as he prepares to hit the century mark. We'll take you to that celebration. And in sports, Cowboy Christmas is just a few weeks away. Scott gets us up to speed on what we can expect.